On the news, President Muhammadu Buhari backs Victor Gaidom as acting national chairman of the APC. Court throws out case challenging Gordon Obaseki's participation in the PDP governorship primary. And number of infected health workers surge amid rising COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. The crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress APC has taken a new turn, with President Muhammadu Buhari throwing his weight behind Victor Gaidom as the acting national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, revealed President Buhari's position in a series of tweets on Wednesday. Shehu said, quote, "The President has received very convincing advice on the position of the law as far as the situation in the party is concerned, and has determined that the law is on the side of Victor Gaidom as acting national chairman." The presidential aide also disclosed that the President will be attending the virtual meeting Gaidom called for tomorrow afternoon. He added that the meeting will also have in attendance governors and leaders of the National Assembly. The presidential statement is coming hours after the National Working Committee of the APC announced that Victor Gaidom is no longer a member of the decision-making body. Acting National Chairman of the party, Abiola Ajimobi, who was represented by National Vice Chairman South Hilad Etta, announced this after a brief meeting of the NWC in Abuja on Tuesday night.
If Victor Gaidom is arranging a neck, I believe that it is your responsibility as a member of the Fourth Estate of the realm to investigate his locus, to find out whether he has the legal, the constitutional backing to be able to call a NEC meeting. As we speak, the membership of Chief Victor Gaidom has been suspended. First of all, you say that our party secretariat had become a battleground. And I walked in here, I never saw bullets, I never saw guns. I did not see anybody in camouflage. Neither did I see anybody with a knapsack. So our party's secretariat, my dear brother, is not a battleground. And the police has released an information to the entire country, signed by Frank Mba, the PRO of police. And so, if the police has released that information, I don't know if I have anything to add to the information that has been released by the police. So, it is not true.
But there seems to be more drama ahead for the APC as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has rejected the notice of governorship primaries sent to it by the ruling party. The electoral body hinged its decision on the fact that the notice was signed by only the party's acting national secretary. It said that was contrary to the commission's guidelines, which require that such notice should be jointly signed by the national chairman and the national secretary of the political party. In rejecting the notice, INEC asked the APC to issue a fresh notice that will comply with its guidelines. The APC is scheduled to hold its primary election in Ondo State on July 20th, 2020. And the path is now clear for Gordon Obaseki to contest the gubernatorial primary election of the People's Democratic Party PDP in Edo State. A federal high court in Port Harcourt had initially barred Obaseki from participating in the poll after a member of the PDP filed a suit challenging his qualification. But when the matter resumed in court on Wednesday, the plaintiff, Omorege Ogbede Hama, told the court that he has decided to withdraw the suit as the party was pursuing an out-of-court settlement. The case judge, Justice Emmanuel Bide, struck out the matter. And this means that Obaseki will now be able to participate in the PDP primary election slated for Thursday, June 25th. If he emerges victorious, he would have to battle APC candidate Osage Izeyamu during the governorship elections in September. Shifting focus now to security matters, bandits have attacked Karare village in Batari local government area of Kaduna State, abducting 3 persons. Residents of the village say the armed men who attacked on Tuesday kidnapped the daughter of the village head, Chiroma Amadu Karare, and a mother who had her baby strapped to her back at the time of the incident. According to the residents, the bandits, who were on motorcycles and about 20 in number, were fully armed. They were said to have attacked several houses in the village, including that of the village head where they abducted his daughter. The bandits were also said to have rustled some animals and stolen food items from the village during the operation. Meanwhile, troops of Operation Hadarindaji have destroyed armed bandits camps in Katsina and Zamfara State, neutralizing scores of the criminals. The police has paraded some arms dealers and armed robberies at the Special Anti-Robbery Squad office in Abuja. The suspects number about 38, including 3 women and 35 men. Sunjo Oye has details in this report.
Rounds of live ammunitions, guns, both locally made and sophisticated ones, charms and other dangerous weapons were on display as police parade suspected criminals. The suspects were paraded at the Special Anti-Robbery Squad office in Abuja. Paraded are 39 suspects, including 3 females. All suspects, according to police spokesman Frank Mba, are linked with kidnapping, armed robbery, cattle rustling, gun running, and other crimes.
A total of 7 AK rifles, 3 pump actions, and other assorted weapons were equally recovered. Out of these 818 rounds of live ammunition, 718 were actually for general purpose machine gun.
Security has been a source of concern recently in Nigeria, especially in the northern part of the country. But the police says it is up to the task of internal security.
The bag of rice was brought to the house by my husband, Lance Corporal Yowe Windenfa, who came on pass from Zamfara some 3 weeks ago. On instruction, as about 28th of May 2020, he called me a few hours, ranging from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening, and told me that Favor Bello, who is staying with me, would travel to Bayelsa. And if she's about to travel, I should give her the half bag of rice which contains the ammunition. For 7 years, which I married my husband, this has never happened. And right now I'm a victim. And my only regret is that because of trust, I did not check the content of it. I only just on instruction gave her the rice. Had it been I checked the content of it, who knows what would have happened, but maybe it is God's will for these criminal activities to be put to bruit. That is why it happened this way. My advice to people is that if you are to travel or you are being given any message, you should carefully.
We will remove it from the down, from the bottom, and we'll now mix it and you will just shake it a little. And when you get to a point, you will pick a taxi. So when you pick a taxi, you will now tell him drop, you're going to see someone. And when you get there, you will ask him that you're waiting for the person to come out. Then on the few couples of minutes, you will just tell him that you want to buy some mineral, you're coming, and you have already arranged it inside the Coke bottle. So you now mark your own and his own different. Then you now give it to him and you hold your own. After drinking some minutes ago, he will just slept up. I sold it to one Mr. Mada, but they arrested him and they recovered the cars back. We normally sell golf 80,000. If it is new, 120.
We ask for your collaboration, your partnership, particularly in the areas of information sharing. And our commitment to continue to wage war against criminals remain irrevocable.
The police is soliciting the cooperation of communities and stakeholders in the fight to stem criminality in the country. From Abuja, Sunji Oye, TV360 News.
The presidency has said Nigeria would not engage in what it called a street fight over the demolition of a building on the premises of the Nigerian High Commission in Accra, Ghana. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, said this in an interview with State House correspondents. The House of Representatives had on Tuesday faulted the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Oyema, on the claim that Ghana had apologized to Nigeria on the demolition. The House, while dismissing the call for diplomatic negotiations by the minister, maintains that Nigeria should seek retaliation against Ghana over the demolition, which he described as an attack on the country. But Shehu, in his reaction, told reporters that the issue would be resolved diplomatically. National Judicial Council NJC has cleared a judge of the Federal High Court, Abuja, Justice Taiwo, of misconduct. The council, chaired by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Mohammed, dismissed a petition by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission against the jurist. Justice Minister Justice Mohammed held that the anti-graft agency's letter accusing the judge of wrongfully granting an ex parte application was without merit. He therefore advised the EFCC's acting chairman, Ibrahim Magu, to file an appeal if he was dissatisfied with the decision. This comes a month after the EFCC filed a petition claiming that Justice Taiwo granted an ex parte order restraining it from performing its statutory functions. Let's take a break here, but still to come, 3 medical doctors and 2 health workers test positive for COVID-19 in Benue as state governments deny reports of first COVID-19 fatality.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. 2 of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no. You don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came up with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
You're welcome back. Here are the stories we've been bringing you at this time. President Muhammadu Buhari has thrown his weight behind Victor Gadom as the acting national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. A statement by the president's media advisor, Garba Shehu, said President Muhammadu Buhari received very convincing advice on the position of the law as far as the situation in the party is concerned, and has determined that the law is on the side of Victor Gadom as acting national chairman. The path is now clear for Gordon Obaseki to contest the gubernatorial primary election of the People's Democratic Party in Edo State. And that's coming as a federal high court in Port Harcourt on Wednesday struck out a suit challenging his qualification to participate in the Thursday poll. We also told you that police parades 39 suspected arms dealers and armed robbers arrested by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad office in Abuja. The suspects are linked with various crimes including cattle rustling, kidnapping, car snatching and gun running were arrested with about 180 live ammunition and guns. Three medical doctors, 2 drivers and another health worker have tested positive to COVID-19 in the line of responding and managing COVID-19 patients in Benue State. The Benue State Action Committee on COVID-19 confirmed this on Wednesday. While announcing this, Chairman of the committee, Benson Abonu, also denied the death of a patient from the virus at one of its facilities. Abonu clarified that the disease was operated on for leukemia. but started coughing 3 days to his death, and his sample was taken to Abuja for testing. He said the patient died on Monday morning, and his results came back COVID-19 positive on Monday evening, making it difficult to tell the actual cause of death since he had been dealing with a more complicated health condition. The Benue State COVID-19 toll now stands at 47, and according to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, there are 21,371 COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. All members of the Kaduna State House of Assembly have been directed to submit their samples for COVID-19 testing. Yusuf Zailani, Speaker of the House, gave the directive following the discovery of a COVID-19 case among the Assembly staff last week. Ali Khaled, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Health, disclosed this while speaking to journalists in Kaduna on Tuesday. According to him, the directive became necessary to ascertain the status of members and staff of the Assembly since a staff tested positive for the virus. Khaled, however, added that none of the lawmakers who have been tested has confirmed positive. Osun State currently has 67 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and to support the efforts of the state government in containing the spread of the disease, a group called the Global Adolescent Health and Development Initiative is protecting healthcare providers amid the limited supply of personal protective gear. Our correspondent Oni Adekunle tells us more in this report.
Health workers battling with COVID-19 pandemic are confronted with risks that could endanger their lives and those of their families. Since the outbreak of the disease in Nigeria, about 300 doctors have been infected, while some have also died while trying to save the lives of patients. And to also look out for these health workers, Dr. Ayilola Babatunde has initiated the Protect Healthcare Providers COVID-19 Response Project. Together with 6 other volunteers, they are visiting different public health facilities in Osun State to donate materials such as face shields, masks, and other essential materials. Within 1 week, 3 hospitals have benefited from this kind gesture.
For instance, you are on call at the accident and emergency section of a hospital, and you do not have access to personal protective equipment or some wash materials, and you have to see a patient immediately. Of course, you are at risk. Just last week, we were at the state hospital in Oshogbo, Nigeria, which happens to be the one of the COVID centers, isolation centers. We gave out face masks, face shield, some materials like buckets, 60 liters bucket with lid and tap. We gave out hand sanitizers. Also, we made posters which reflected the theme Protect Healthcare Providers, which we made in English and Yoruba language, so that both members of staff and relatives of patients will be able to see these distinctly and know their roles to play.
The project is financed by a grant received from the Pollination Project, and Dr. Ayilola plans to reach more states with hopes of receiving more funding from other donors.
Many thanks to the Pollination Project, which is a US-based non-government organization, which gave us a little grant they call it a seed grant, to kickstart the project, with much fundings from other parastatals and stakeholders, both within and outside the country. I do believe that we can extend our hands of generosity and benevolence to other states.
Dr. Ayilola also commends the government for its efforts so far in the fight against COVID-19. He says much more can be achieved with the partnership of the private sector and other well-meaning individuals.
We do know that we are in a resource-limited setting, and I really do commend the efforts of our governments, even at the state government levels. I do celebrate what they are doing. But however, I believe that individuals, corporate organizations, and bodies can come to the aid of the Nigerian government at different levels to support them and to help them to achieve what we call a total curb of the pandemic that is ongoing.
The Protect Healthcare Providers COVID-19 Response Project is envisioned to directly impact about 20,000 healthcare providers in Osun State. Adekunle, TV360, Nigeria.
For many years now, some rural communities in Nigeria are still in the practice of killing their infants at birth for possessing features like albinism or any other special traits or deformity. But for the past 16 years, one man has been helping these kids stay alive by rescuing them from their killers. Judicial now reports.
Playing their favorite board games and interacting with friends, these children are more than happy to be alive. The reverse would have been the case if they had not been rescued by Stephen Olushola, who has dedicated the past 16 years of his life to rescuing children rejected by their families due to ancient cultural beliefs.
Picking up children who have been sentenced to death by their culture and tradition and nurturing them from babies. Sometimes we receive our children from the very day they were born. By the grace of God, we have rural workers who are not paid, but they act as our informants. They are the ones that give us information that a nursing mother has just died and the child is there. If you don't pick such a child, that child is likely to be left to die or buried together with the mother.
Godiya Stephen is one of the eldest at this foundation. She was rescued as an infant and has since grown to call this place a home.
I was brought to INEC station when I was a baby, and this is where I grew up. I've been here for 16 years, and presently I'm 16 years. I've lived all my life in Vine Heritage Home, and this lockdown, I used lockdown to teach my younger ones and then also study, because I also have online classes because I'm preparing for my INEC.
Like many other NGOs, the foundation has been grappling with the negative impact of the coronavirus pandemic, adopting new ways to manage its limited resources and keep the children busy while schools remain closed.
Some supplies that people usually give us that we don't usually buy, like diapers, like toiletries, now those things are not coming. The community where we live here, our phone network, internet network is very poor. And the children have not been able to go to school, even though their school have organized for them to have e-learning. So their education is affected, majorly. But in the home, what we have been able to do is to arrange the children into several classes, the senior one taking care of their younger one.
Other adjustments have also been made to ensure the children are not exposed to the virus.
Since the COVID-19 matter started, we restrict our visitors. Even some visitors who wanted to come at some days, we restrict them. We make sure we tell them that this period you cannot visit us. We also make sure that even our workers that come from outside, we provided face masks for all of them, and they also sanitize their hands so as to make sure that infection does not come from inside. And then for the children themselves, at interval during the day, I call them together. I put the hand sanitizer for them to disinfect their hands.
Sometimes in 2013, the Nigerian government, through the National Orientation Agency, instigated a campaign tagged Eliminating Negative Cultural Practices. But the campaign didn't have much impact as it was limited to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Foundations like these are, however, calling on government to prioritize these campaigns and totally eradicate the practice of infanticide in Nigeria. Adeshawa Odushoga, TV360, Abuja.
You're still watching news now on TV360 Nigeria. We'll be right back with business updates.
The crash nurseries and the press school life from possessing the problem nothing.
that the election has been postponed, and Nigerians have been reacting.
Local area of Lagos as early as 7 a.m.
Some minutes past the incident has been managed.
Headquarters this morning. We have
You're welcome back. Let's now join Fidelia Aguncha for the latest in business.
Thank you very much, Annetta. The World Bank has approved a sum of $750 million as a loan to Nigeria's power sector to fund the nation's power recovery operation. The loan, which was approved by the Board of Directors of the Bretton Woods Institution, will be channeled towards improving the reliability of electricity supply, achieve financial and fiscal stability, and enhance accountability in the power sector. In the statement, the World Bank noted that about 47% of Nigerians do not have access to grid electricity, and those who do have access face regular power cuts. We'll now shift focus to the stock market after this break. Stay with us. The value of Nigeria's equities market is dropping for the 7th consecutive day as more investors move to the sideline amid falling naira and rising COVID-19 cases. In the past week, the all-share index has fallen by 317 basis points, and today's market drop of 0.38% pushed it lower to 24,655 points. Now, the market value, on the other hand, is at 12.861 trillion naira, which is a drop from the 12.911 trillion figure with which it began trading today. Now, Seplat PLC from the oil and gas sector took the biggest hit from the bear drag, falling by 42 naira and leading the pack of 22 losers. It was also a bad day for consumer goods index equities like Guinness right here and Nigeria breweries, as they dropped by a combined 2 naira and 8 kobo. Well, let's now move to the flip side and see what's happened over there. NACO, Zenith Bank PLC, Caverton PLC and Champion PLC are the top 4 gainers for today, while the market summary shows that over 189 million equities valued at 1.9 billion naira were transacted in 3,364 deals. And now to the foreign markets. Just like the NSE, they are all dropping amid rising COVID-19 cases across major countries, world economies in the world. That's it from the side of business. It's back to Annetta Felix.
And here are the foreign updates for you. Kosovo President Hashim Thaçi has been accused of war crimes by a special international prosecutor in The Hague. According to the prosecutor, Thaçi and 9 others are criminally responsible for nearly 100 murders, torture and enforced disappearances during Kosovo's 1998 to 1999 independence war with Serbia. The prosecutor's office, however, stated that the indictment has not yet been proven. And Kosovo's government has angrily denied the allegations, calling them as baseless and defamatory ahead of the publication of a report in 2011. And now to news in sports. Premier League club Arsenal has confirmed David Ruiz has penned a new 1-year contract with them. The Brazil centre-back joined the Gunners last summer in an €8 million deal from Chelsea, but only signed for an initial 12 months. The original deal was due to end on June 30, but an agreement has been reached for the defender to stay on for the 2020 to 2021 campaign. And that's it on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us.